on respect. I came across the powerful but ambiguous meanings of the word respect recently when the Vice-Chancellor of my university and his advisors were facing the very big problem now of how much you can tolerate people with whom you disagree. And there was discussion about how far universities can allow dissent. For instance, if you have a speaker coming to the university who you disapprove of, should you try and prevent them from speaking, either by blocking people going or heckling them or whatever? And so the university was trying to work out a policy, and they came up with a document which included the word respect. You should respect the views of others. And the Vice-Chancellor is a human rights international lawyer, and I'm sure he was using it in the sense that you should take account of, you should listen to, you should not dismiss it out of hand. But there was all hell let loose because people said what he's saying is you should agree with, you should do more than tolerate, you should actually show some appreciation of. That's what we mean by respect. And that is unacceptable. And he had to eat his word, and the document had to be changed after a big university discussion. Now, that brought home to me the power of this concept of respect. And the other area where I began to notice how important it was in relation to particularly people of Caribbean and Commonwealth background in Britain, who would often, you'd hear that there'd been a fight, and when the cause was diagnosed, people would talk about, well, he didn't respect me. And what that seemed to mean was that he didn't show a sufficient respect, meaning he treated me as someone inferior. He didn't recognize my personal space, my personal worth. And so you had the saying, show a bit of respect, man. And this made me realize that respect, in that sense, has not been terribly important in my upbringing. I wasn't taught at schools to show respect in that sense to other boys. At least formally, we didn't use the word. But informally, of course, you were meant to treat other people with a degree of appreciation for their position and not to make them feel inferior or to brag about your superiority or to put them down. You should respect your parents, you should respect your sisters, you should respect your friends in that sense of thinking of them as sensible human beings who you might or might not like. Liking has nothing to do with respect, but you appreciated that they were fellow human beings with you. And that was a basic feature of the world I grew up in. It was enshrined in our English legal system, where you respect the rights of individuals before the law. But it wasn't something I was taught in terms of machismo or honour and shame or any of these things in relations. So I was taught to respect women as much as men, old people, young people, whereas respect tends to be between two more or less similarly aged, usually males, who come into a confrontation over their amour propre, their self-regard, and one feels that the other is trampling on it and not showing sufficient respect, and that is a cause of provocation and can lead to shouting or even fighting. So respect is a very interesting cross-comparative idea, and it's also found in China in the concept of face, which is very important in China. You mustn't, in public, denigrate someone and cause them to lose face. And to lose face is in many ways the same as to lose respect. So it's a very powerful cultural feature of most societies, but in a different form in the world I was brought up in.